participated in making this happen. And most especially Unleash and Mr. Fleming and others who have joined us today and have in many ways contributed a lot to what we have been trying to build. UNDP, Akim, thank you for being here, and all the work you've been doing with and through the UNDP to do a lot of work. And of course, our government system and other partners who are here, who Susan Buffett Foundation, and there are many. I don't want to risk leaving anyone behind, but just know that by saying what I'm saying, I wanted to appreciate you and the partnership we have forged with our country. Now, for us, entrepreneurship and trying to work with the young people, the talent, and people trying all the best they can to, come out and express themselves and do whatever they can do to. It's a responsibility, first of all, we have as a government, as the leaders, because there is so much locked in there with the young people, with the young talent. Sometimes they have no opportunity to discover even their own talent until somehow people work together to be able to achieve this. So in Rwanda, therefore, we have identified this as a major way of developing our country, our people, and beyond our country, more so the continent, our continent needs this kind of thing. So first, we identified it as very important. Second, we find ways of making sure that we grow on this path as fast as possible. I think the rest comes naturally out of all that.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, as an entrepreneur, I have to take this opportunity to ask this question, and I'm assuming a lot of other entrepreneurs who are in the house would want to know the same thing. And this question is, if you were an entrepreneur today and had the opportunity to change or invent something, what would that be?
Yeah, it's like you are taking me back in my past, maybe reminding me of things I missed doing and which I would have loved to. Let me tell you a story. As a young person growing up, I was fascinated by planes. I had a love for planes. Even way before I even had an opportunity to step on the plane. I just used to see and be fascinated by that. In fact, from that, I thought I would, if I had had the opportunity, I would become a pilot or an engineer from that. That didn't happen. By the up to this day, I still have a passion with aircraft. So it didn't happen. I ended up in completely different places. And I'm trying to do my best in that as well. So therefore, I was so much absorbed. In the end, I discovered later on that meant aerospace technology, or you know, and looking at what is happening today, air transport provides a lot. Contributes a lot, and both in terms of the engineering and technology part of it, but also the facilitation of what it does. And in the end, like looking back today, to find that in this day and age, Africa is not well connected. You know, from that time I was thinking about being a pilot. To this day, Africa is not well connected, but there are planes all over the place. And so how can we use this technology to connect people, to connect Africa, most especially because less connected. But Africa has created a body, the African Union, to see how air transport can be developed or even unified across the continent. It hasn't happened yet. But that also ties in with the African Continental Free Trade Area, facilitating trade of people and so on. So you can see from one thing leading to another. You've taken me back, so I'm trying to tell you now, I'm using those ideas to see what I would do and change. I would change a number of things. Today, people are talking about, I mean, we have like electric cars. People are now thinking about electric airplanes, and it is going into green technologies, making sure that there is less pollution in our atmosphere. So I can go on and on and on, but I think in a way the train left the station, so I'm just. But I know there are many young entrepreneurs. There's a lot of talent in this room, so I'm just encouraging you to, you know, this is the time for you to do what some of us were not able to do and change things. So, you know, this is your time, and it is the moment for.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you. Yes, that's a very good segue into the next section. We would love to open it up to the public and take at least 3 questions from the crowd. We'll start with the middle part. If there's, yes, there's a question.
Lucky enough to be involved in the Unleash Innovation Program here in Kigali. In Unleash, we focus on how youth can achieve sustainable development goals through innovation. Can you tell us what Rwanda is doing to incorporate youth in its vision towards transformation? Thank you.
Yeah, from the beginning, we think about our people. We have centered everything on our people. And that means when you are thinking about the future, you're already looking at the young ones growing and what they can do for themselves, for their country. So we invested and we continue doing so in education. That means giving them where to start from and as they grow. And therefore have also created institutions to facilitate that. Like we, over time, you know, and it cuts across. It's not just within Rwanda or Rwandan. We work with others from outside. We have the African leadership university that has come up. We have Carnegie Mellon, and what we have also done is to make sure that this is not purely Rwandan, but brings in African talent or gives them an opportunity where that is possible to be part of that. And that provides an environment where the education, the talent, the entrepreneurship will develop and really create that enabling ecosystem that we keep talking about. That's what Rwanda has done. We have been particular, we have focused, and we have made sure that we move together, not only Rwanda, but I know here there are young Africans from different backgrounds and entrepreneurs who have joined with the rest to do what we can do. So that's what we have tried to do. We've made it a central theme for us to, I like the name Unleash. I think it does the thing. It allows.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll take a question from this side.
Thank you. Your Excellency, my name is Jantin Doba, the CEO and co-founder of HiQ Africa, and we are credit financing fast-moving consumer good merchants in Africa. As a startup founder, I would like to start by thanking you for the great infrastructures and opportunities put in place to make sure that startups in Rwanda thrive as a proof of concept country. And my question is, what are some of the opportunities that Rwandan-based startups can leverage on to scale up continentally and globally? Thank you.
Yeah. Well, to begin with, this coming together like now or at any other time, as we have seen, brings awareness and allows people to think beyond what we see in a narrow sense or just around us. With that comes such opportunity that people will be able to identify a number of things that are within the support system as we have created it. And it enables also the government and the partners and the private sector to see what is lacking and what can come together to continue allowing the growth that is required. So the support system that is there will grow, and it will also help people identify, what they can do more as we move forward.
Thank you very much. Yes, we can take a last question from this side.
Nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika y'u Rwanda, esteemed guests, good afternoon. My name is Bruce Sachindi, and I represent a company called Kuza Africa, which is a one-stop center for fashion design and production. My question here today is, what can startups in Africa do to shift the perspective or actual realities about investment risks, especially that these risks continue to stagger fast and effective funding for startups here in Africa? Thank you so much for listening.
Well, there's a lot of talk about risks, and people tend to identify Africa with more risks than you would find in other places. Well, but it has gone to a level where it's almost a myth or just prejudice, because we all know the world. I don't know which part of the world does not have the kinds of risks that people are talking about. In some cases, more than Africa does, actually. So it's well, that's the reality to begin with. So we have to take it as a reality, but in terms of that being the case, that Africa is identified with, and even though unfair with such a level of risk, so we've got to deal with that as a problem. And dealing with that as a problem is, to begin with, ourselves. I think we need to challenge ourselves enough and also respect ourselves, and then from there we engage others on a matter of facts, but also of not rejecting, of not accepting that that should be the case, and that's how Africa should be looked at or treated. And from there, we try and do the right thing for ourselves, and also prove ourselves to those who view us with such a level of risk that in the end, of course, creates this impediment. And then just keep speaking out, keep doing our best, keep working hard, and just don't accept that some of these false stories about us. But let's start with what we have and do what we can do and improve the situation. I think but then around that, or parallel to that, I think the stories we talked about, people who have been from outside, who have been, or these partners we talk about, who have put their money in the right places that can support the young entrepreneurs across the continent. It's still at a low level, in a sense. We need to increase that. But we can work with these like minds across the world and keep challenging the others who still have these biases, and also urge them to see actually what they are missing. They are missing a lot in terms of what could have been realized given pool of talent across our continent, which is there, which is Rio. Yeah, we just don't have to give up or even despair, just increase our energy and hard work that we can put into it.
Thank you very much. As we wrap up our session, I have one more question. The festive seasons are coming up. What do you have planned for the grandkids?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you bring it up. When you bring up my grandkids, you're also talking about my kids and family and friends. So we always have something to do around these days. So the best thing is to be together as a family and just spoil ourselves and this happens once in a while, so we should be allowed to do that. We can afford to do that.
Yes.
So for sure, we are looking forward to this, and we have a package for that.
Yes.
That's the time some of us take some rest and enjoy everything that family and friends can provide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your Excellency, thank you so much for your time. This marks the end of our fireside chat. We welcome you to join the audience as we move on to the next section. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Another round of applause, please, for this wonderful chat.